Hi friends, it's Brittany at Ink and Papyrus and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here with me today because we are destashing our washi tape. We are pulling out all of that goodness that you bought, you thought you had to have, and for whatever reason you purchased 10 varieties of it and now it's just sitting there in that bin. Well, I'm going to show you some easy, super satisfying, gorgeous projects that you can make with that washi tape. Let's put it to good use. Let's dig into that stash. Just grab the washi you have. It doesn't matter what theme it is. These projects are going to look amazing. And for washi tape project number 1, washi tape feathers and leaves. Okay, this may sound so weird, but once you get them bunched up or into a page layout, you are going to be absolutely in love with these, I promise. All you need are washi tape, some glue, and some twine. Well, cording will work just fine too, and all we're using it for is to just create the stem like you'll see here in just a second. First, you're just going to cut a piece of cording or twine that's a few inches long, depending on how long you want your leaf or your feather to be. Then we're going to be layering washi tape. You want each of them to be about the same size, but it's okay if it's not precise. We're going to be cutting around it into the shape of either feathers or the leaf fronds, depending on what you're making. Now, when I started to layer them on top of each other, because you do want them to be on top of each other, you want them to cover the cording entirely, but you also want them to rest kind of overlapping each other. I realized they were not sticking well at all, so I did end up having to add some wet white glue over the washi tape as I layered it on, and it worked much better that way. I think it's easier just to start by covering the cording in wet white glue and then layer with your washi, and then maybe put a little bit of glue over top of the top of washi where you're going to layer the next layer of washi over. Sorry, I just said washi 100 times. I hope that makes sense. I know that probably sounds a little laborious, but it goes really, really quickly, and you're essentially just going to repeat the process on the other side. So flip that washi tape or the cording over, and then you're going to layer the back half with washi. So essentially you just have a piece of cording that's covered front to back in strips of washi tape. Very easy. Now, if you really want to be fancy with it, you can alternate different colors or themes of washi tape, or you can just be really simple like me, and I just stayed with washi tape the whole way down the cording. And since we're making feathers or leaves, you could even accent over top of the washi with smaller, thinner pieces of washi. You could do it straight on or diagonal. Just make sure that you are securing it down with some glue, because washi does not stick to washi very well, especially when you have cording in the middle. Take my word for it. If you do have any little bit of cording at the end, when you're done, you want to just cut it off. Okay, here comes the fun part. We're going to go around with our scissors and just cut out the shape of a leaf. You know, broad at the bottom, thin at the top. Obviously, you want less exaggerated. You want less broad, a lot more tapered at the top if you are creating a feather. It's kind of just all about the shape you want. When we trim them up at the end to either give them fronds or the little feathery parts, it will look a lot more like whatever you were intending on creating. So the one piece of advice that I want to give you is to not make it look so symmetrical. I made this error when I was creating this blue leaf. I wanted to put it in my beach journal, and it just looked like it was kind of shredded on both sides instead of actually looking like a leaf. Same with creating feathers. Fronds are never completely symmetrical, and it just looks fake. It doesn't quite look like what it's supposed to be, as opposed to if you maybe take a little chunk out with the fronds. If you remove a little piece, if you snip off, or not snip off, if you cut into the leaf and create segments that are larger than the others, and then on the other side you have a little piece missing, it's the asymmetry that actually makes these look more realistic. I really love how these came out. After I was done with that blue retro leaf, I went back to the shimmer one and just made some asymmetric lines and kind of cut out a couple of fronds to make it look a little bit more uneven, and it started looking like a leaf in no time. You can either choose to taper it at the bottom around the cording and cut a little slat there so that you have a stem, or you can just leave it leaf like I did with the cream and pink one. It's totally up to you. I just wanted to make 3 leaves that look like it would belong in this beach journal, and I think I accomplished that. Again, I've seen people make, like, completely lifelike, feathers. It's totally up to you what you wanna do with these, and like I said, you can get really complicated with it and add a bunch more washi tape, or you can just use the washi tape to kinda create the base of the leaf or feather and then decorate these with either additional layers of washi tape. You could decorate them with bling, stickles, pearls, um, rhinestones, you name it, you can do it. Next, we are making washi tape tags. Now, I have some pre-cut tags with the hole already punched at the top, but you can obviously cut out a tag from cardstock and make it whatever shape or size you would like. Now, for this tag, I was going for more sort of neutral and vintage themes. I found some brown floral washi tape I completely forgot I had, some birds, and some other little gems. Whenever you're creating tags, you can do them one of two ways. You can either wrap your washi tape around or just cut off the edges. If you want a tag with washi on both sides, the wraparound method may be for you. If you want to leave your tag blank on the back to write on, then obviously you only want to decorate with one side. Either way, I just recommend you making sure you put enough glue stick down, because otherwise the washi tape is going to peel back from the corners unless you plan on going around these with the sewing machine, which also looks amazing. As you can see, my brown washi tape completely ripped as I was peeling it off the roll, which honestly kind of ended up being a happy accident. I think these look so good when they are tapered. It just adds a lot of interest, and I think it makes, I don't know, it just makes them look more interesting. So instead of just layering them on top of each other directly, you can kind of um, stagger them diagonally, or you can rip them purposefully in half, like I accidentally did, but I think I continued to do that down the tag, because again, it just makes them look so much more interesting and fun. So essentially, this tag is completely uneven, but I love it. I can't explain it. It just gives it so much character. Once I have everything layered, I just end up cutting off the washi tape pieces. If you feel so inclined, you can save the scraps to do something with them, but they tend to just kind of clump up into a ball once you cut them off, anyways, so I just end up throwing them away. I personally like to decorate on top of the washi. Previously, I have done some gessoing that seems to work really well if you want to write or stamp on top of your tag. Stamping directly on the tag, in my experience, doesn't work all that well. You'll see in an upcoming project, I kind of show you the results of stamping. I end up hating it and just covering it up with something else. But in this case, I found a really pretty kind of, it's a sticker that looked to me sort of like a beehive, or like at least the texture of a beehive. And I end up laying a couple more nature themed stickers on top of that. I grabbed some ephemera I had left over on my desk. Now was as good of any of a time to use it. I am trying to do a de-stash this year, and I'm not sure it's been successful, though I have been getting better at using the things that I have and actually going through old stuff before I shop for new things. But anyways, I go ahead and pull out one of my Tim Holtz ephemera packs. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if this is a real Tim Holtz ephemera pack or a fake one off of AliExpress. I'm not going to lie, I do like the fake ones because they are so similar and they are like half of the price. And this brown styled or themed ephemera that I have in that spiral notebook I got off of AliExpress as well. Not everything off of AliExpress always hits a home run. Some of it is very unlike the pictures that are shown, and sometimes you have no idea what you're getting. I have to say, these ephemera packs, the faux Tim Holtz ephemera packs, and the sticker ephemera packs in the spiral notebooks have been really, really surprisingly good. And as you guys know, this probably won't surprise you. I bought one in every color. I got like a brown and a blue and a green. Some of the verbiage can be a little bit odd occasionally, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But aside from that, I've been very pleasantly surprised at the variety of different stickers and pieces in there. You guys know me, I really like applying stickers and pieces of ephemera kind of halfway off the page. I just think it gives it more dimension and interest. And the best thing is that because this is a sticker from that sticker pack, I can take the sticky remaining side of the sticker and put it back in the ephemera pack like nothing ever happened. And you guys know by now, my usual decorating style when I'm doing something like this is very simple. I usually like to keep it to an image or focal point and then maybe add some words and numbers. When in doubt, just add an image, a quote, and maybe a couple of numbers, and you are golden. I know I said I didn't like to stamp on these, but I found a compass stamp and did a little bit of stamping, mostly on that upper corner so you could still see it. It didn't get lost in the washi, and because most of it didn't end up on the washi, I wasn't worried about it smudging. The other thing I love to do on these, because they can get very, very busy, sometimes your focal point can kind of fade in the background. I went around the sticker with a charcoal pencil to really emphasize it. I actually tried to get most of the charcoal pencil on the sticker itself as opposed to the washi, though I mean some will show up on the washi. This sticker wasn't nearly as glossy, and it was doing a better job of kind of soaking up the ink from the charcoal pencil. And as usual, I went around it with some water to just kind of let everything bleed in. And I really, really, really love the way this looks. Finally, I went around the butterfly with some gold gilding wax to really give it some hue. It kind of just made it like, not just pop, but it sort of, well, it made it pop from the background, and it kind of, I don't know, it just gave it this nice special glistening hue, and I love it. Everything is better with gold gilding wax on it, in case you didn't know. Okay, for this next project, I'm going to demonstrate making a bookmark, but we are going to do a wrap around bookmark. Some of my tags and bookmarks I leave blank on the back because I do like using them as journaling cards and having some extra writing room, but I really love the look of a wrap around bookmark, and it's so easy to just get everything covered. You literally just put glue down, put your washi down, and then flip it over, put some glue down, and wrap it around. And they don't have to match up exactly, so don't worry about that. I love the way these look. When I was done with covering the front and the back, I added a topper, lace, any kind of fabric works amazing. You can sew it, you could staple it, you can glue it, whatever you like. On this nice vintagey purple one, I found some of those faux flowers, you buy in a pack, and I cut off the stem because the stems are like long. You won't be able to glue it flush to the page. So I cut off the stem, and I was able to cover up my staple with this faux flower. I love the way this looks. If your heart so desires, of course, you can ink around the edges. So around the edges, whatever you do to normally make, we all have our things where once we do it, we feel like the project is complete. Whatever you normally do to make it feel complete. And it's funny, I was even thinking, what about adding like some book corners? If you have some really small book corners, I know the sheet's kind of thin for that, but you might be able to swing a couple of really small book corners on there. Whatever you like to do to make your project look polished. go around it with stickles, like I said, ink it up a little bit, maybe take a punch and punch some shapes in there. Add your little topper, of course, like I did. Decorate the front and the back if you would like, or you can leave it really, really simple and just put down your washi and add a topper like I did. I have to say these bookmarks are so relaxing and these are so easy to mass make. I could make it just like 100 of them and I would probably still have a mountain of washi tape, but nevertheless, you can make a ton of these. And the beautiful thing is you can use as many different types of washi or as few types of washi as you would like, and come up with completely different kinds of bookmarks without too much hassle or a whole lot of thought. And you can just put these away for later and maybe pull them out when you're working on a specifically themed journal and you have a better idea as to how you want to decorate it. It's totally up to you. What kind of a video would this be if it was a video about washi tape and I didn't at least do a couple of swatch layouts, right? If you were wondering, this 365 journal, well, I call it a 365 journal, is a collection of everyday memories and just me documenting my life in a fearless way. I don't have to worry about ruining it. It's already wrecked. I mean, look at it. It's a mess, but I love it. It's got to be one of my most favorite journals. Okay, in this layout, I am simply swatching washi by framing them. I am making little swatches of washi and just doodling a frame around it. You can do this with paintbrushes. You can do these in the shape of books, paint cans. Oh my gosh, there are so many different ways to swatch washi. And of course, you can just swatch it in a linear fashion where you're just plopping it down on the page. I think it's so much more fun if you work it into a design, but that's just me. Now, as you can see, the marker I used to write the words washi as well as the marker I used to doodle the frames bled through. And so even though this page originally had a really pretty design on it, I have to find a way to cover it. And what a better way to cover up a ruined page than with another washi swatch. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I wanted to try something new, so I decided to do a diagonal swatch. It didn't end up being exactly diagonal, but I don't know. I think the end result is pretty cool. For this particular page, I used all sort of brown vintage washi tapes. In some of my other layouts, I use really bright, bold colors, but I just felt like this worked well juxtaposed with that red page. It was a little bit challenging doing this with a really bulked up journal because I had very little room to work. I couldn't really get the pages to lay flat. So that was a challenge. That's probably why you see me struggling a little bit, but I made it work. Not only are swatch pages great for just covering up mistakes and just adding a very interesting page, but it can also be a conversation starter in your head, I guess. That sounds a little bit crazy, but it can be a great way to put down a base of something to kind of get your mind moving if you feel like you're stuck on a blank page. Put down a couple different kinds of washi, swatch them, and I guarantee you the design ideas will start flowing. Sometimes it's just the blankness, the whiteness of a page that can be so intimidating. Or you may just decide you like the swatch page so much that you don't really need to do much else with it. Maybe just put down the day, how you're feeling, and sort of the theme of the washi tapes, maybe where you got the washi tapes, or just put collect the month. You know, it's June 2024, and just, that way like what period of time, what day that was, so the period of time that you're I just like to be able to go back and say, okay, these are the washi tapes I had in June 2024. Or maybe you just did a washi tape haul, even though you have too many to begin with already. And so you're just gonna write washi tape haul, July 2025, something like that, to that effect, just so you kind of know what period of time this is over. Does that make sense? Now, let's look at a couple other examples of how I used washi directly in my layouts. That "be present" along with the quote down below it, all of that backdrop with the bows, that is all just washi. I thought that was adorable and I love the color combination together. The next really easy way to use washi in your layouts is to use them to either decorate or frame a photo. A lot of the washi tape I have has words or phrases on it, and as you see here, I just use the word memories to kind of just emphasize the photo. This is my dog with his girlfriend in the neighborhood. Her name is Shayla. They like each other very much, and she gives him kisses when they see each other. So I thought that was really cute and just journaled a little bit about how they met each other. I also have this floral washi that that I'm looking at it, I think it would be adorable. This photo was shot obviously when it was warm out in the springtime, and I think some floral bouquets next to these two lovebirds would look really adorable. Oh, and I have to put this little piece of washi tape hearts between them. I love it. Love is in the air. Here's some more examples of framed pictures with washi tape. I love the way it looks. It has such a nice decorative element, especially when you can find a washi tape that really works with the picture. You can frame the picture with washi tape, or you can decorate the picture itself, like you saw me do with the hearts in between the two dogs. You can almost make like corners out of them. That looks really cute when you just put washi tape in each of the corners in the shape of a triangle. That looks really adorable. Or you can put little bits above it or below it near where you're going to journal about pictures if that's what you are choosing to do. You can also use your washi to decorate little pieces of ephemera. I have taken some phrases from washi tape that I have, cut them off, and just decorated these paint chips that I got at Lowe's. The other thing I love doing with washi tape is creating flip-ups. I do this by creating a hinge mechanism. I put a piece of washi tape over the thing I want to flip up, and then underneath the thing, and it creates a hinge mechanism. It's actually pretty sturdy, and it holds up to being flipped up and down. You can journal on top of it, whatever you want to do. On a completely unrelated note, I recently got some white gel pens and I love journaling on dark paper. I don't know why I never thought to do this. Like previously, I would just copy and or cut out like white paper, whatever, and glue it on. I don't know why I never thought to get myself some white jelly pens, so here they are. I do have to say, I felt like that cardstock that says bark. I love the sentiment, but the placing is just really awkward. The edges, it kind of just looks like it was glued down haphazardly. But when I framed it with the washi tape, all of a sudden it looked like it meant to be on the page. And I don't know, it's just there's something about framing things to just if something looks like it's not where it's supposed to be, try framing it. It just sometimes it kind of makes things pop and makes things look like they're right where are supposed to be. The page still looked really incomplete and underdecorated to me, so I added a couple of my favorite watercolor doodles. I love my dog here is laying in the yard and I added a flower next to him. I thought it was a perfect fit, and another little decoration in the corner there. And all of a sudden, we've taken this page from totally just kind of haphazard, incomplete, looking like somebody just glued something there randomly, to something that's polished, something that's really cute, eye-catching, some focal points that pop, and we've brought the page to life, and I couldn't be more happy. Here's another instance of using washi to frame the photo, though I didn't actually directly frame the photo. I just put a square frame around it, which I actually like the way this looks even more. I backed the picture with some decorative papers that I got out of my dog's toy box for the month, and I just thought the color combo, the red, the orange, looked really, really good together. You probably can't see in this shot, but he actually has a bow tie on. This is his daycare picture that was taken, and I thought it looked perfect with the hearts. Another quick little tip, sometimes I actually use washi to cover staples. If there's a staple that I don't really like the placement of, I just put some washi over it. I try and color coordinate it here. I color coordinated it with my green Mustang, and I thought it was on point. Okay, guys, lastly, I have to show you this summer-themed bookmark I made. I love it. I love the color combinations, and I love what I end up doing with it. You'll see here that I had some difficulty stamping on the washi. It didn't work out well, so I ended up just stamping a pineapple on a piece of paper and putting it on the washi bookmark. I'd probably recommend doing it like this. If you have something totally covered with washi and you want a stamp over it, I would probably just stamp it on paper and glue it on. If you have some breaks in the washi, it may look really cool to have a crisp image intermittently or interspersed with like some smudged stamped image. That might look really cool. If it's all covered in washi, yeah, I would definitely stamp on paper, rip it off, tear it, give it some cool edges, and then glue it right on your washi bookmark. But I just loved how this turned out so much. I had to share this with you. Finally, in the last part of this video, you're going to see me searching around in my ocean themed journal for a place to put these leaves. I love these. I don't know why exactly I thought they felt so ocean themed to me, but they really did feel nautical, and I eventually settled on this page next to it's just a landscape I made with watercolor paint up at the top, some lighter blue tissue paper I decoupaged, and then a sandy shore I made with some brown paper, and I fussy cut shells and put them up front. I do think I want to do a little bit more to this landscape. It's not quite done, but for whatever reason, I just felt like these leaves were like meant to be here. Probably because I don't know. I just thought it looked really, really nice next to this page. I ended up taking some blue netting and added some words over top that says "to the ocean," which I thought was perfect since the arrow points to the left where the sandy shore is. And I could not be happier with this layout. Maybe I'll add a couple more things off camera, but I really feel like this came together really, really nice. And the texture that the leaves provide with the tissue paper next to it, I'm like a big fan of creating dimension and texture in my layouts. So this was a perfect place to put them. Like I said, I couldn't be any happier with the layout. I'm definitely going to make more of these leaves and feathers in the future. If you can think of something else to make that we could make with cording and washi tape over top, you really just have to be able to cut whatever shape. Maybe we could make like hearts for Valentine's Day with washi tape. Something simple, something you can easily cut out. But I'm obsessed with this. I'm gonna have to make some more shapes, and I'm actually gonna have to think about this. This really excites me. We could even make paintbrushes, like we could take cording and put like washi tape of a certain color over top, and then we could fan out a different color at the bottom and make little slits so it kind of looked like a paintbrush at the bottom. Instead of palm fronds or feathers, it would be a paintbrush. Heck, we could make a whole paint palette. I'm really excited. We're gonna have to make some washi shapes in the future. Guys, I hope you loved these projects as much as I did, and I hope this inspired you to dive deep into your washi stash and give these a try. If you enjoyed this and want to see more of Ink and Papyrus, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you the next time.